Hello and welcome to day 22 of Lifebook's 30-Day Challenge. Thanks so much for being here with me today. Yesterday we started the exploration of the career category, and today we're going to be going a little bit deeper into this category of your life, and I'm going to share some secrets with you today. Some concepts that you may find a little challenging, but hopefully fascinating and eye-opening as well. And we'll end today's video with a powerful exercise that's really going to help you turbocharge this important area of your life. So let's begin today's exploration by asking a question that most people are going to go through their entire lives without ever asking themselves. Why does your career exist in the first place? What is the purpose of a successful, fulfilling career? Well, most of us know that at a fundamental level, your career exists to pay the bills, to provide the material things that you need: food, shelter, clothing, things like that. But those aren't the only compelling reasons to create a successful career for yourself. At Lifebook, we believe that at a much higher level, our careers exist to make our entire lives better, not just our financial lives, all 12 categories of our life. To fund our lives emotionally and spiritually, and intellectually and physically. A great career gives us the means to increase the quality of our relationships, our environments, our experiences, and our overall quality of life. The reason that we want a fantastic, rewarding, fulfilling career is to support our whole life vision and to become 12 categories smart. Now that's definitely easier said than done. You don't see it very often. It's a real balancing act. If you don't focus enough time and attention on your career, it can create a real deficiency in your life, a lack of financial abundance, a lack of self-esteem, and a lack of fulfillment. On the other hand, if you focus too much time and too much attention, too much energy on your career, it can eat the rest of your life alive. We've all seen that, and probably a lot of you overachievers have even experienced it. I know I have. It's something we really have to watch out for as ambitious people. So the big question is, how do we achieve exactly the right balance? How do we get to that sweet spot that ensures, to the greatest extent that we possibly can, that our career is actually going to give us a 12-category smart life? Now, that's a huge challenge, and it's very rare when you see someone who's achieved it. You can know if you see that you're looking at a massive accomplishment. Missy and I went through Lifebook again last year for the 4th time together, and it was a really amazing experience for us. We've been in the process of creating a new life vision for quite a while now. The last chapter of our lives has been amazing, just indescribably beautiful and exciting and fulfilling, and now we're ready for the next exciting chapter. It's going to be different than how we've lived before, but we weren't sure exactly what it would look like. Over the last few years, we've been asking ourselves questions like, where in the world do we ultimately want to live? How do we want to spend the hours of our days over the next decade? Who do we want to spend our time with? What does our dream career look like in our 50s? So we went through Lifebook again because we knew that it was exactly what we needed to break through to this ideal life vision that we've been searching for. And as expected, it was life-changing. So we got to the career category, and I was digging in pretty hard to some of the challenges I'm experiencing in my career right now. I own 7 companies at the moment, and I'll tell you, the intensity level of my particular career kind of goes in waves. Sometimes everything is going along nicely. Everything's great, everything's fine, everything's under control. Sometimes one of my businesses sort of goes through a phase where it needs some attention. And sometimes, not often, but sometimes, the proverbial doo-doo hits the fan and everything seems to get acute on multiple fronts at the same time. This happened in 2009 when the bottom dropped out of the economy. Like, everything needed attention. It was a very, very intense time. I love my work. I love the work that I do for all my companies. There's nothing that I spend my time doing that I don't really like, but sometimes the volume can get to be too much. Sometimes I take on too much, and it gets a little bit out of hand and it can get overwhelming. I got to watch out for that with my personality. So I'm in my Lifebook session. I'm sharing some of the challenges that I'm facing right now, asking advice from some of the highly successful people that I'm going through Lifebook with. And I'll never forget it. There were a couple of younger guys in the room. So they're sort of up-and-coming businessmen. They were so surprised to learn that I ever experience career frustration or career stress. They were shocked that at my age, with my level of career and financial success and the wealth that I've built for myself, that I would ever be in career stress. They were both astonished, but one of them was a little bit relieved. He was like, great, I'm not the only one who's got career stress. The other one was clearly distressed. He was disappointed. And after talking to him a little bit, I realized, wow, most people don't understand a really important reality about the goals that they're pursuing. They're operating under the totally mistaken assumption that once you achieve a certain level of career and financial success, you won't have anything to worry about anymore. The stress will go away and the difficulty level will decrease. And that was a big realization for me. I got to admit, I actually felt a little guilty that the universe had chosen me to burst that little bubble of misconception, because in my experience, nothing could be farther from the truth. I'll give you an example. A couple years ago, Miss and I were hanging out with Richard Branson on his private island, and he was talking about an incredibly hard time that he went through when he had to make a decision whether or not to sell his record company to save his airline. Now, if you've never started a business from scratch, I'll tell you, it's kind of like having a kid. If it doesn't die during childbirth, which a lot of them do, you're lucky. And then you've got to nurture it and grow it and keep it alive long enough to reach maturity. You put your whole heart and soul into the project, you give it everything you have, and losing it in any way can be seriously traumatic. So Richard was telling us how he agonized for weeks over making that decision. He lost sleep at night. Here's a billionaire who owns more than 100 companies. Those kind of decisions keep billionaires up at night. Different than your problems? Well, maybe, but I'll tell you, it's all relative. So if you think that your stress is going to go away as soon as you achieve, what you consider to be success, I'm sorry to tell you, you'll have to think again. Now, the upside to developing a successful, fulfilling career is the irreplaceable experience of achieving something meaningful in this life and the financial rewards that come with it, the freedom that you get, and there's lots of that if you do it consciously, the opportunities, the personal growth, and the self-esteem that comes from accomplishing worthy goals. There's nothing like the fulfillment that comes from contributing something good to this world and improving your own quality of life in the process. But most of us understand that, right? I mean, we all associate those things with success. And we're also familiar with all the stories of the challenges on the way to building a successful career or company. The long, hard road that it takes most people to get there is pretty much a cliche. What's much less familiar to most people are the challenges and the struggles of staying there, of living there once you get there, which I will tell you right now, they're built into the system. I experience stress, I experience doubt, and I experience uncertainty in my career all the time. Why? Because I live on the edge. I live on the edge of what I'm capable of achieving. I've chosen to push myself. I take risks. I take on projects that I'm not sure I can pull off, and I do it a lot. Just like any other entrepreneur or artist or author, when I put my whole heart and soul into a project for a year, sometimes 2 years, and then it comes time to release it out there into the world, it can be totally nerve-wracking. I mean, you just lay in bed at night and you wonder, is anyone gonna care about this? Or is this damn thing gonna work? Or how on earth am I gonna make this deadline? Whatever. When you're almost to that finish line and you're exhausted, you realize something Richard Branson told us on Necker Island. There's no reverse gear on this thing. The only way out is through. So suck it up, Cupcake. You gotta keep those legs moving. I know hundreds of highly successful people, and I'll tell you right now, no one I know who's doing something great in their career is living without at least occasional stress. No one. It comes with the territory. And I think the reason this comes as a shock to people is that a lot of so-called authority figures don't want you to know it, because they want you to believe that they have it all completely figured out and completely together and that their life is perfect. They don't mind letting you know that they struggled at one time in their life on that hard road to getting where they are now, but now they've got it all figured out. At some point they found the key or they discovered the system and now they're living a perfect stress-free life, and if you buy their stuff, you can have a perfect life too. And I can tell you with a pretty high degree of certainty that the vast majority of financial, career, and success coaches out there experience consistent career stress. Not experienced at one point in their life, experienced now. Why? Because they're going for it. They chose a life of achievement. They're in the ring. And no matter how good you are, when you step into that ring, you're probably going to take a few punches. Even Lifebook millionaires who really get the 12 categories and consciously strive for excellence everywhere in their lives, and I've interviewed dozens of them, highly successful Lifebook members who've got their careers really set up well. I mean, they're organized, they're efficient, they've got good teams, they delegate properly, they try to minimize stress, they figured out how to spend less hours working and more hours living. They try to build in a lot of leisure time. They've created financial abundance for themselves, and everything's going along really nicely until they find out that one of their most trusted employees has been embezzling from them for years. True story. Until they get sued by someone they've never even worked with, never even talked to, never even met before on a totally fabricated complaint. True story. Until government regulations change overnight and knock their entire industry sideways and decimate their most profitable division overnight. True story. Then it's game on, baby. Time to roll up your sleeves and fight some battles. Challenges in the career category are unfortunately inescapable, and especially if you're the kind of a person who's dedicated to a life of maximizing your potential and exploring the boundaries of what you're capable of achieving. You're gonna have challenges, you're gonna have stress, you're gonna have difficult times, because you're in it. Welcome to life. You know, you're taking risks. You're gonna be attempting things that you're not sure if you can achieve, and you're likely gonna experience some career stress along the way. Because the only way not to have demands on yourself is not to be demanding to yourself. The only way, to completely eliminate stress from your life is not to challenge yourself. And you wouldn't even be doing this 30-day challenge if you were that kind of a person. Everything you want in your life comes with a price tag. And you've got to be willing to pay the price for what you want. Or it's not a real goal, it's a daydream. Achieving your life vision is the step-by-step process of paying the price for every goal upon which your life vision rests. So if you want to create a big life vision and set big career goals and accomplish big things in your life, that is awesome, as long as you accept the fact that those big goals may be accompanied by big challenges. Now, all that being said, I gotta share something with you. I hate stress. I really do. I try to avoid it whenever I possibly can. I want a big life where I'm able to accomplish big things and never have to worry, never have to have anxiety, never have to have frustration, never have to have stress, which is totally unrealistic, I know. I'm just saying that's what I would prefer. I don't like urgency. I hate rushing around. I don't like chaos, and I work hard to eliminate those things from my life. I strive every single day to be more efficient and more effective and to get more accomplished with less effort and to experience more happiness and less stress every day. And I usually do pretty good, but sometimes, not often, but every once in a while, when I get frustrated or really tired or stressed out, and I ask myself, John, what the hell are you doing? Why do you work so hard? You don't have to do this. Why do you have all these companies? Why do you have all these people that depend on you? You could just literally snap your fingers and eliminate every ounce of stress tomorrow. Just make all the demands and all the responsibilities go away, all the hard work. Just take Missy and the kids to some South Seas island and live a quiet, peaceful life, and follow the advice of Henry David Thoreau, who said, "Let the affairs of your life number 1 and 2. When I go through stuff like that, I've just got to remind myself, John, this is who you are. This is the life you've chosen. Big challenges are built into the fabric of big accomplishments. You're not going to get one without the other. What are you going to do? Go fishing all day? You going to get a hammock? Seriously? You know, a straw hat and a Corona and land under a palm tree all day? Now I'll take that for a week. I'll take that for maybe 2 weeks, but then I got to get back in the ring because that's where I belong. That's my nature. And I've got to be willing to accept the totality of that experience. Missy and I have been able to create an absolutely extraordinary life together. We're madly in love with each other. We have been for more than 25 years. I mean, we're completely crazy about each other. We've got wonderful children and grandchildren who are happy, they're healthy, they're independent, they're courageous, and they're kind, every one of them. We're in great physical shape, we're intellectually stimulated, we're wealthy, successful, we've got amazing friends. We've experienced the whole world together. We've invented our own lifestyle. We've forged our own course in this life. We work really hard and we play really hard. We've lived on the edge of the 12 categories for years and years and years, and we love our life together. One of the biggest reasons we have this life is because we push ourselves. We pour ourselves into our life. We attempt difficult projects, things that we're not 100% sure that we can pull off. We take risks. We want to realize our highest potential in every area of our lives, our highest potential for love, for happiness, for laughter, for fulfillment, and for achievement. Living like this is exciting and it's thrilling, but it's definitely not without its challenges. And I've got to admit, I absolutely love this wild, crazy, imperfect life that we've chosen to live. We strive to make it better every single day, to learn more, to grow more, to be more effective, to accomplish more in our lives with less effort, and to minimize our stress and our hardships whenever we possibly can. But we also totally embrace the way that it is right now. We take total responsibility for our lives. We accept the totality of it. We didn't choose the easiest path, that's for sure, but it sure has been exciting, and we wouldn't want it any other way. Now, let's get on to our career exercise for today. In your journal, I'd like you to make a list of every price that you're going to have to pay to get where you want to go in your career and to really get this job done. What you want to ask yourself is, what is it going to cost me to achieve this goal? And be realistic with yourself. Then, next to each item on that list, ask yourself, is this okay with me? Does it make sense to me to pay this price? Or do I need to make some changes here? If it's okay, then write down okay next to it. And if not, you want to really take some time to think about what changes need to be made and why. Tomorrow, we have a really special treat in store for you. It's kind of like the big reward for all this hard work you've been doing so far during the course of this 30-day challenge, because tomorrow we're going to explore your quality of life. In this exciting category, we're going to take a deep look at the things that you want to have, the material possessions you want to have in your life, the environments you want to be surrounded by, like your dream home, and the experiences that you want to create for yourself. This category is kind of like the payoff for all of the thinking and the planning and the strategizing that you've done. So get ready to have some fun tomorrow. It's going to be great. Until then, do your career exercise at a really high level. That one's an important one. And I'll see you tomorrow as we explore your quality of life together.